Hello friends and welcome to the SCT YouTube channel. Today I'm working with a brand new sketch from Allison Davis, which I am so excited about. It has all the awesome Halloween kind of ish elements on it, the stars, the bats, and to go along with that, I have the new Monster Mash collection from Echo Park Paper. Take a look at the elements sticker sheet. How cute are those little icons and the little dressed up cuties there. I love this pattern paper. If you're not an A-sider, you'll love the B sides. They have some great patterns that are really great for mixing and matching, and we're going to do a lot of that in today's video. There's also a lot of cool cut aparts too. I love the purple and green and orange and teal color scheme. You can't go wrong with that for Halloween at all. I have a couple of embellishments here. I have the frames and tags, which is what I'm going to show you here. There are some great tags in there for adding journaling. There's also some frames in there, lots of little cute sayings on little tags here that I really like for adding embellishment. There's a great one for adding journaling. There's even a couple that are great for a title too, especially that boo. That was really cute. So lots of little bits and pieces here. We also have the ephemera pack. Now this one is really cool because it has like large and really small elements. There's pieces on there that you can create banners with. Again, there's ones with phrases and sayings. There's some with little journaling areas. So I love that double toil and trouble. I have two photos here that I'm going to be creating with today. These are smaller. These are printed out at about 3 by 5. The one of my daughter and my son is vertical and the other one is horizontal. So it's always tricky to add those to a layout. I have an 8.5 inch by 11 inch layout here and a piece of white cardstock that I've added to the center. I'm just going to trim off a bit of that so that we have a nice frame around our layout. So the first thing that I'm going to focus on in this amazing sketch by Allison Davis are the stripes in the background. And on the layout, it shows two different colors of stripes. And you could certainly limit yourself to, two different pattern papers or two different colors of cardstock. But I'm going to go all out here because I love the patterns in this collection, and they are just so fun and great for mixing and matching. Now, because I love these patterns so much, I don't want to cut the paper all the way. I want to make sure that I can create more, especially 8.5 inch by 11 inch layouts with these. So I'm going to be cutting just small strips. I'm sizing these at 1/2 inch wide by 5 inches tall, and then I can put those across the entire layout background. So just trimming out these awesome pattern papers, and some of them are going to be cut so small you won't be able to notice what they are, like the candy with the potions and things like that. And before I commit, this is really important, I'm going to use temporary adhesive from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L because I don't know if I will like certain patterns next to each other, or I might decide that I want to move it higher up on the layout. I just want to get an idea of how it's working before I commit to actual permanent adhesive. So by pre-cutting all of those strips in advance, I can just kind of use this time to lay them out. And you can see there that I'm switching out that purple one for the white one because I like the way that's flowing a bit better. So I'm just going to add the rest of these to the background. Now that my background is complete, it is time to add my photos, and I'm going to put them along the bottom edge there because I don't want to cover up all my hard work. I really like that spacing for that third photo, but since I only have two, I'm going to use that spot there for journaling. And instead of keeping two straight lines and boxes, I'm cutting that out so that the scallops are there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add some stitch detail, and I'm just using some black thread and I'm stitching kind of messy along that top line. I'm keeping a semi-straight line, but especially on the edges, I'm making it a little bit wonky. I'm going to do the same along the bottom line of those paper strips too. To hold the ends of my stitch detailing in place and to put that white piece of cardstock onto my frame, I'm using the clear double-sided adhesive roll from scrapbook.com. I really like this stuff, and you just have to take off the backing and pop it on to your project. It's really easy to use. All right, so that's in place. I have my journaling, I have my two photos. Now I have that stitch detail. I want to have those photos set out from all of the pattern behind them. So I'm just going to add a small amount of a solid color, and I'm doing that with a purple and orange cardstock that I had in my stash, and it just helps them to stand out a little bit, especially from that white at the bottom, since those photos do have a white frame around them. Next, I'm going to add my journaling with Photoshop. So I just print that onto that piece of the journaling card that I've cut out there. I'm also going to go ahead and adhere my photos to the cardstock and then my cardstock down to the layout background using the scrapbook.com tape runner and some adhesive from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. Of course, I love to pop up those photos because the photos I want to be, the main focal point, and so I like to pop those up with adhesive tape. Next, I'm grabbing an SCT exclusive stamp set. This is the Layered Stars stamp set, and it has a coordinating die with it. These are available now in the Scrapbook and Cards Today shop, and I really, really love this set. I helped to design it with Lisa Hetrick for a Crop and Create Delivered class that I was teaching, and so of course I love stars so much, and I love pattern stars even more, and when you can use them to create your own embellishments in the colors that you choose, it makes it so great. I'm also using scrapbook.com's premium black dye ink, which I love. It has such a intense black color. Now I'm going to add these to my magic mat, match up the correct star size here, and use mint tape from scrapbook.com to run these through my Platinum 6 machine from Spellbinders. So I'm just creating 3 stars. There are 3 star groupings in the sketch, and I'm going to stick to that sketch pretty closely because I love to do things in 3s and 5s, so 3 is just perfect for me. Next, it's time to create our title, and I'm using a mix of 2 different alpha thickers from American Crafts, and this one is fun because they're black with a little white edge detail, so I'm spelling out Oogie Boogie here, and then Bash at the bottom with some chipboard alphas. And I love to use 2 different types of alphabet stickers on my pages to create my titles because I think it looks really cool, and you get a bit of contrast there with different fonts and different colors. And I didn't want Oogie Boogie, which is quite a long word, to be as big as Bash. So these photos are of us from the Oogie Boogie Bash in Disneyland, and we had such a great time. And this entire Monster Mash collection is just perfect for this event, so I'll probably be scrapbooking a lot more photos from it with this collection. Now I'm grabbing the ephemera here to see what I can find. I'm using the frames and tags too. There's all sorts of different elements in here, little eyes, and I love the spooky eyes. I love the phrase pieces here that you can add to the corners of your photos. just really fun things to put around the page just to add a little bit of interest. I had almost completely forgot about the element sticker sheet, and there are so many good things on here, especially the skull and crossbones, since we were standing with Captain Hook and Smee. That really fits in well with our photo, so I'm going to put that one down here by my title and that star. Just really fun collection of elements, and the sticker sheet is really great. I added that die cut that says "Which way to the candy" above the photo of my kids and their bags of candy, and then I'm gonna stick a little sucker in there to accent that. I love those spooky eyes at the top, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dimensional adhesive to add those onto the page. So really fun. The thing about this layout is that there's so much pattern in the background. You don't want to add too much around here. So I'm going to add a few of the colorful stars and candy pieces and kind of create a diagonal line that goes from the bottom left corner up to the top right corner, because a diagonal line really draws your eye to what you want to see the most, which are my photos, and then to my journaling. So really fun little elements here, and I like that in the sticker sheet you get some larger elements and some really tiny elements, and I think it's really important to add both to a page all of the time. So make sure you're varying sizes of things that you're putting around your page. I also thought it would be nice to pop up my title, so I'm doing that here with Bash, and I'm going to cut up my dimensional adhesive nice and thin there to use on the S and on the H too. It just adds a little bit of extra dimension to that title. Last but not least, I'm adding a few magical sparkles onto this layout using some glitter gems that I have in my stash. So I'm putting those around my embellishments. Again, thinking about that line that goes from the bottom left corner all the way to the top right. So I'm focusing on that line and just kind of adding those around my embellishments. For one more touch of additional texture, I'm grabbing some puffy dots from Pebbles and using a few of those around the page, sticking with black so that they, add a little bit of contrast there. But I love that this layout turned out so much like the sketch from Allison Davis, and it has its own special touches. I definitely did something a bit different with my photos. I did something a bit different with the title, and you can still tell that it came together so easily, even with those tiny little switches. I hope you guys love this layout as much as I do. Don't forget to check out all of our sketches from the fall 2023 issue at the link in the video details, and be sure to ask your local scrapbook store or your favorite online retailer about the Monster Mash collection from Echo Park Paper. Happy creating!